Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, yeah. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Got a lot to talk about this week, ladies and gentlemen. What are we talking about? So, obviously, the thing everybody's talking about, Tony Hinchcliffe at the Republican rally. Have some personal gripes and beefs. Something happened to my TurboTax commercial. Can't wait to tell you about that. Plus, MLB baseball. Did the Yankees ruin it? All right, yeah. Riffin with Griffin, and we're back at it, everybody. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. We're live here on Wednesdays. You know how we do. Thanks for our listeners on all audio platforms. You know where we at. Hit the subscribe button, everybody. Hit that subscribe. Okay, hit the subscribe button so you can know when I'm going live and when I'm doing stuff. Hit me on Twitch. You know, I still game on Twitch. I'm a Call of Duty. I'm addicted to Call of Duty. But I also do some like live stuff on there too. Most Mondays, not every Monday, but most Mondays I do Monday Nuance. And if you're a subscriber on Twitch, you get that. And then it goes on to Patreon if you want to support me and keep the show going. Yeah, man. So that's where we're at right there with it. So once again, I say thank you for being here. You know, you can hit me up on social media platforms and all that kind of stuff too. This weekend, if you're in Florida, please hit up your friends and tell everybody I'm going to be at the Orlando Funny Bone, formerly the Orlando Improv. It's the Orlando Funny Bone. I'm going to be there Friday and Saturday this weekend. Come check me out if you want to see me do some comedy. Yeah, man. So that's where we're at with it right there. Yeah, dudes. So a lot going on, man. A lot going on in the world right now, in the comedy atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, I'll get. I'm trying to see. Is there anything I want to talk about that's going on with me? No. Well, got the backyard's done. Backyard is done. You know, still waiting for approval from the HOA. But the backyard's done, and we'll see what goes on there. I love it. I'll show you guys a picture of it next week. Maybe I'll do my podcast from my backyard next week. That'll be kind of cool. You know what? I should do that, right? Do something different. Whatever. Now, I'm still working on my not final, but like 300 episodes. I talked to Bobby. You know, he's the one I had to wrangle the hardest. But if I don't get him for the 300, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brief break from Riffin with Griffin because I've decided, like, I know what I'm going to do. So, like, you know, I got a new house. I'm living, you know, it's great. And I have like, so this is a room, this is my office. And then I have another room right next to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm in the process right now of like, I want to turn that into a proper podcast studio. I'm gonna have that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I might wait so I can have them both come, Bobby and Steve come and be in my new thing. It's, you know, so and by the way, if there's any people out there that like do artwork and things like that, you know, because I want to get a proper Riffin with Griffin thing behind me. I'm going to go to the Goodwill and find like an old desk and like just, you know, so I could do this right. You know what I mean? No more green screen, all that. It's going to be in there. Get like 2 cameras. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it up. You know, I'm moving forward. It's like I'm trying to make Riffin with Griffin great again. Right. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. So, and I was just on Steve's podcast, which is out now. So go check out Stevie Weeby's podcast. Him and I love Steve. I love Steve and Bob. Those are like, I'm very fond of those guys. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So anyways, I'm working on that, guys. So if I don't get it for 300, because like Bobby and Andrew are about to go to Australia, and so they're going to be gone for a month. So it's like, I would have to wrangle him like in the next few days, and I don't know if I could do that, but we'll see. You guys should reach out to. You guys should just bombard Bobby on his Instagram and tell him like, you got to be on Riffin with Griffin, man. He needs you. So that's what's going on there. But I am working on a podcast studio. So if people have ideas, if you got ideas of like the set design, it's like a rectangular room. It's a nice space. I got a big wall. Let me know what you guys got out there. I'm reinvigorated about Riffin with Griffin. So we'll be doing that. So check me out. Anyways, we'll get into everything that we're going to get into. Okay. So there's a lot to talk about. So I'll just get it right into this week's comments. First comment right now I want to read is like some of the things we're going to be talking about today, that I'm going to be talking about today. So this is from Axel Nasty. He said, "Hey, Eric, got to take a breather from the comedy and podcast for a bit. After seeing Tony set at the Nazi rally, I'm having trouble staying light. Marin opened my eyes, and I'm seeing there's a whole fascist positive thing going on in your world. Politics aside, my gramps fought against that shit. I know it's much bigger fish than allow you to eat, but some point we look to people who stand on talent to take a stand. I hope you're still you when I come back. Good luck." Woo! Now that's a comment, okay? That's a comment. It's strong. I totally see where this guy's coming from. And I hope you come back to podcasts. You can't, I think that we live in a time right now where there's too much access to everything. And also things are parsed, and only little pieces of bits of things to push a narrative is out there. And I think that it's becoming harder to really just say, oh, this is art, or this is comedy, or this is politics even, There's more to it than just that. But that's a great comment, and I appreciate those are the kind of comments I like, Let's see. Except for Matt and a very small group, his generation is oversensitive snowflakes showing off their participation medals. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Well, goodbye. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you see like a comment where you go, okay, I don't want to see that guy anymore. Somebody said, definitely dumb of the Raiders. They needed a lot. They needed a lot to go right for that to work out how they wanted. Yeah, it was crazy. If you guys look at my episode from last week, I just didn't understand the Raiders' choice of kicking a field goal down by 8. They kicked a field goal down by 8. It was 4th and goal at like the 12, right? So my feeling was like, go for the touchdown. If you don't get it, the Rams would be on the 12-yard line. And then you needed to stop them and score a touchdown anyway. You know what I'm saying? Stupid. Zach said, is Bronny an industry plant? We'll see in a few years. I don't understand what is an industry plant the way people talk about it like this. People always say that, an industry plant. So it's like, if you're successful or whatever, are you an industry plant, or you have to show your growth? Guys, Bronny James is say what you want about him. He's a top 1,000 basketball player in the world. Okay. He was great at the combine. He was tops in a few of the categories at the NBA combine. And he's got a great work ethic because he got that from his dad. Would he be in the NBA without his dad? Probably not. But that's part of it. He was a great dad. He worked hard. He probably showed him how to work hard. He was great in high school. He was great in, the places he went. And then, he got injured when he went to USC. I think he needed some more time, honestly. But, if you're going to play with your dad and he's 40, you got to go do it now. So, I have no problem with it. It is what it is. Even if he is an industry plant, whatever that is, it was still a great story, right? Somebody said, as a diehard Raiders fan for 30 plus years, I'm glad you understand our frustration. Yeah, I'm a Raiders fan too, man. I go back to LA Raiders with Marcus Allen. I'm from LA. All right, whatever with the comments. Thanks for being a part of the show, guys. You can write your comments, and then, if they're good, I'll read them, or, we'll discuss it. And just for that guy, the guy, he won't even know this. This guy won't even know because he said he's not watching podcasts anymore. But I actually copied that comment and I sent it to Marin. And Marin wrote me back. He just wrote me back right now. It said, dig it. Woke one up. That's not nothing. So, that's pretty good. Yeah. So anyways, just what I got in. All right. So, boom. You know what? Let's get into it, man. So first thing up is what everybody's talking about is Tony Hinchcliffe at the Trump rally. I got a lot of thoughts on this. So let's get into it. So the first thing is, I think there's a time and place for everything. But the first thing is, I would encourage everybody to actually go watch the full set. Not the things they're showing on the internet, not the little parsed pieces that they're grabbing from it. I think, not to excuse those pieces, but I do want you to go watch it. Because if you do watch it, the whole thing, you'll be like, oh, Tony did a pretty good job of what he was doing what he was doing, okay? And then he had these things, which is what he does. He's a roast comedian. I don't know why you would. This what doesn't make sense to me at all. Does Trump know Tony? You know what I mean? Because that's different. If Trump is like, I love this kid. He's my favorite comedian. He's huge. And it's like, I want him to do this. And then he does this, and then Trump would just come out and be like, take a joke, you softies, or whatever he would say, because he would be full on supportive because maybe this is Trump's favorite guy. Maybe Trump loves Kill Tony secretly, and he's like, I get that guy, okay? So that's one thing, okay? Because my first thought is why was he there? And this is nothing on Tony. I love Tony. I've known Tony for years. He's still my friend. I'm not going to turn my back on Tony. But you can have a friend that does something bad and you can still be like, hey, man, I didn't like that one. Still love you, right? That kind of stuff happens. But anyways, so why was he there? So because none of it makes sense. I'm with Jon Stewart. You hire a roast comedian to open up your event or be at your event. What do you think he's going to do? He was famous. He's famous now for this. Millions of people watch the Tom Brady roast. This is what he does. So the first mistake, because what I'm saying is, I'm not even blaming Tony right now for this. I'm not even you hire him and he does what he does. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing? Now, if there's a part of you, okay, wait, let me just go step by step. Okay, so that's the first part of it. Okay, that's the first part of it. It's okay, so why was he there? So someone obviously in the pipeline of Trump's world is oh, let's get him. So Trump's been on Rogan, Schultz, Theo's podcast. He's doing all these kind of bro podcasts, JD Vance was on Tim Dillon's, it's these are all these sort of hey man, it's not necessarily right wing, but the right wing likes him. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bro Republican type guys who if you talk a way that they disagree, they call you a left wing nut. It's a lot of those type guys watch podcasts. Okay. And this is why Trump is well, I want to grab guys. I think, guys are being called toxic. Guys are being told that they're being a man is bad and all the, those guys, they feel like that. And then they watch podcasts. And Trump is let me go be on there. His people go on Rogan, go on whatever. You're going to reach your audience. So anyways, so that to me is the connection because Tony's a part of that world. He's boys with Rogan. He's just a part of that world. They do the Trump thing with Shane Gillis on Kill Tony all the time. You know what I mean? So So there you have that. So maybe that's why he was there. Okay. But somebody in this world had to have said, like, hey, did they talk to him and be like, hey, what are you going to do? Can we see what you're going to do? Like, was there no vetting? Was there no like, hey, listen, we think you're very funny. We like what you do, but please don't do anything that's going to offend people. Was there that talk? I don't know. I haven't talked to Tony. I should ask him. Because to me, it's like you hire a roast comedian. Like, he's known for this. And somebody says to him, like, hey, you want to come do this event? And he's like, okay, because you're hiring me because you think you know what I do. You know, and then you do it and you upset? What? Okay, so that's part of what I find ridiculous. Okay. Now in terms of like for Tony himself, listen, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. You know, how things are consumed, how things are heard, the location, and like I say, the time and place, that makes a difference. Like if this was the correspondence dinner, because worse things have been said at the correspondence dinner. Okay, like that's a roast of the political news media and politicians. If you go back and look at some of the stuff that's been said at the correspondence dinner, you'd be like, whoa. Now, should that stuff that's being said at the correspondence dinner be said at a rally? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, I'll just say that. I don't think so. You know, so there's part of it that's like, it's being consumed like that. So now you're at this like political rally and he's doing some off-putting jokes. Now, to Tony's credit, I feel like you know it when you hear it. I don't think Tony's was being racist. Okay. I think he was just trying to he was doing racial jokes like he always does, you know. He was doing them at the roast of Tom Brady, you know, and then he just like with the way he was saying it too, like, yeah, okay, you guys, yeah, you know, the Republicans are the ones that can take a joke. So I think that in the moment he was playing it up like, oh, okay, yeah, you guys know I'm just joking, right? But the thing is like that thing was being consumed by the world. Okay, so I don't think it was appropriate in that setting. I just don't. I wouldn't want to see a Democrat doing that, a Democratic rally, and I wouldn't want to see it at this either, especially when you're the party that people unfairly say, if you're a Republican, you're racist. If you're a Republican, you're fascist. If you're a Republican, you don't like black people. If you're a Republican, you're a crook. You know, that's unfair. But if that's the perception that people have, and then you're going to go on there and do these type of jokes, all you're doing is making the people that already think this go, see? And I don't know if that's the setting, you know, the time a week before the vote. So I don't know. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. It's like, again, like for me, my sensibility, I'm a comic. So like I looked at it and I was like, okay, wow, Tony, that was a lot, you know, really here? You know, I get it, but it's like I'm not the casual person. There's already an attack on comedy, man. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, there was this whole movement afterwards right away, like, see, comedians go too far. Comedians, do we need comedy anymore? So it's like there's already a movement like that. So it's like it's hard to, you know, it's. This like I always like there's an attack on comedy, and it's like but at the same time it's like it's because there's too much out there in the world. You know, the internet, I think it's like comedy plus the internet equals people's opinions. And you know, people, I always say this, people need to say you can't just say that person's racist. No, you have to say that person's racist to me. In my opinion, because then it's like, oh, okay, I see why you say that. But no, the internet is full of people making proclamations and saying, this is what it is, not to me. And if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. So, but I can step back from it and look at this and be like, I don't think that was the time and place for those jokes, considering how the internet gets involved and they parse things, and they're going to take one beat and turn it into that was the whole thing. And at the same time, I don't blame Tony for this, because he's like, okay, so hear these people like, hey man, we want Tony Hinchcliffe to come do this. And he's like, okay, you want me? All right, because I'm going to do what I do. And that's what he did. You know what I mean? That's what he did. So, yeah. And so it's like, it is what it is, And I think that, there's like a bigger question here. And I think both sides are wrong, honestly. I think both sides are wrong. You live in there's so many people I talk to that are, say, very liberal. You talk to them and they're like, if Trump wins, it's going to be fascism and he's going to there's no more democracy and all this. So you have people that feel like that, strongly believe this. They strongly believe that Donald Trump's going to ruin America and tear up the Constitution. And it's just going to be he's going to be an 85-year-old man and he's going to stay in office. There's people that believe that. And then there's the people that believe that, the other side, they're going to let in 50 million immigrants and they don't care about all the things they say. They, all the gender identity politics and diversity is going to be thrown down our throats in a way that is, unfairly skewed and whatever, I think both sides are wrong. I do think that the way it's trending right now, I think Trump's going to win. And I think he's going to win. He's going to do his Trumpian stuff, like he did last time. And in 4 years, he's going to go away. Like he did the last time. What I'm saying is we're going to move on. I think we're bigger than these people. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think people are wrong about that. Does he say some off-putting stuff and have some crazy ideas that he puts out there? Yeah. I just don't think he's a seasoned politician. But I think that, I just think that he's going to win. He's going to do whatever he's going to do in his 4 years. He's going to get his library and whatever he's going to do. And he's going to be 86 or whatever he is. And he's going to go away. He'll just he'll be an old ass man and he'll just be like, all right. And then the Republican Party will move on with whoever, whether it's JD Vance, who's going to run for president at that point versus whoever. But I don't think it's going to be this big thing. I think both extremes are wrong about the other side. Then all of us here in the middle are just kind of like, wait, what? I just want groceries to be cheaper. I want to be able to, I want electricity to be cheaper. I want the inflation to go down more than it already has been going down. We want safe borders. We want crime to go down. We want good schools. I think we all want that. And we're just kind of like, so who can give us that? This politics coming so hard from either side, and also just from a bunch of ignorant ass people. I mean, the internet has given voice to a lot of idiots, man. Just a lot of idiots. They on there with their comments like, you're a left-wing nut, or you're a Nazi, you're just kind of like, it's hard you have to just parse through all that. I mean, because most of us, when we're sitting at home by ourselves or with our families, I don't care about what these idiots say. You're just looking at your house or your apartment or your bank account and your job, and you want health care, you know what I mean? You just want the basic things, Young women want their abortion rights, and because it's very interesting. A lot of Republican women, for instance, the abortion issue. I don't know if that's going to skew the election or not, but with abortion, it's always these over 40-something women, Republican women, who they don't care. They can't have babies anymore, so they don't even care about it. So they just talking they just ignore that issue. That's why it's so nuanced, because the younger women who can still have babies and whatever, they want the right to choose or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's not even, that's what I'm saying. It's not far right and it's not far left. It's a very nuanced, it needs more discussion than a comment on the internet. But that's the thing that seems to be moving narratives right now. So anyway, let's get back to it. I'll say again, I don't think that was the time. If I was a Republican, if I was in a Republican Party, I'm working for the Trump people, I don't think that I think whoever hired him is the one that should be fully on to blame. And then my thing too is like, don't turn your back on the guy now. You're talking about Haitians are eating pets and some of the things that he said that's so off-putting. Why didn't he just back Tony? I think that Trump should have been like, the guy was just making jokes. This is why I got to get in office, because everybody's soft and I'm going to change things. Like, I think he should have stuck up for him, go all in. But the fact that like his people hired a roast comedian to speak and then didn't make stipulations like, hey man, can you keep it light? We don't want to offend too many people because, if you're not going to do that, if they didn't do that, then because they should be coming out with that. Like if anything, they should be mad at Tony. They should be like, hey, we told him not to don't offend people, but he went rogue on us. Say that, but they're not even saying that. It's coward. That's coward shit right there. To be like, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know him. I didn't know. It's like, really? I don't know. Man. Yeah, I you know what I'm saying? I just think that all of it wasn't handled well. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. That's all I really have to say about that. Okay. All right. So that's it. Maybe I'll talk about it more. I don't know. But, in terms of addressing that kid that wrote something earlier about, it's like, because Mark Maron's out here strong right now, really chastising comedians, so he people like that don't think that podcasts should have people like that on, like as if they're giving voice to what they think that this person represents, but Rogan has everybody on, it's like Rogan's like, yeah, Trump, come on, you want to come on? Let me talk to you. Hey man. And people are getting on him like, why didn't you ask him this? Or why didn't you ask him that? That dude's not CNN. It's not Fox News. It's a podcast. It's a podcast with a meathead. The guy does the carnivore and he gets in ice baths and he smokes weed and he's just an engaging guy that we love listening to talk to smarter people than him, dumber people than him. And he just has a way of getting people to chill and hang. And it's a good conversation. Why do we like it? I don't know. But that's part of it, right? So he's, yeah, come sit down. I mean, is that pushing fascism forward when he does that? I don't know. And then I'm just speaking on Rogan. Rogan doesn't need anybody to come on this podcast to make his podcast popular or anything. It's the most popular podcast around. That's why you hear this thing about Kamala Harris's team is like, yeah, you got to come to her and it's only an hour. Rogan's like, nah, I got $500 million. I'm chilling in Austin. This is how we do my podcast. So if you want to be on my podcast, hey, come on. But we're not doing it your way. What? It's the arrogance of that, But I get it. Their politics. They're like, nah, we're going to do it like this. It's like as if Kamala Harris going on Rogan is going to take it over the top. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's not. He's like, all right, well, let's move on. I'll talk to somebody else. So, you know what I mean? It's weird. You know what I mean? So now in terms of these other podcasters, it's self-serving. I mean, yeah, if you're one of these other imagine thinking that a presidential, when Barack Obama went on Mark Maron's podcast, I thought that was mind blowing. That was the first time I was like, wow. Because it's the world you would never see coming together. But then when Trump's in office and he's tweeting, when Trump was tweeting and the Mexican president tweeted back at him, we're not paying for the fucking wall. I was like, what world are we living in right now? There's a Twitter battle going on between two world leaders. That's crazy, right? And here we are now with these people going on podcasts. More people are going to see that Rogan interview with Trump than Fox, MSNBC, CNN, the BBC. All of those news networks combined probably won't get the views of a presidential candidate going on something like Rogan. So that's the world we live in now. So, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with Mark, but I understand the point of view. When I saw Trump on Schultz, Schultz is like kind of palling around with him, and I don't know. It's like, what was that? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of just speaking out loud right now in the moment. I don't know. And then it's like, and then when when he went on Theo's podcast, it's like, but Theo also had Bernie Sanders the week before. So to me, I kind of was like, oh, okay. I like Theo's going with this, and again, these aren't news people. These aren't reporters. This is just some funny dudes, and we're doing podcasts, and now people are I think the politicians are trying to take advantage of the podcast audience because they're like, oh, we can reach more people if we do that. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I feel about, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if I necessarily agree with what Mark Maron was saying about the comics and podcasts. Let me just look for it right now, just so I can get, since we're talking about it, so here we go. Like, it's in a Rolling Stones article. Oh man, I hear that you have to pay for the, okay, it goes, Mark Maron rebuked the comics he believes, and he's calls it driving the anti-woke flank of the new fascism. In a short essay pointedly shared after comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made several racist jokes at Donald Trump's rally in New York. He said, what is brewing in this country is an American fascist movement rooted half in grievance and half in Jesus and enabled by tech oligarchs and an inundation of propaganda from many sources. Whew, what a sentence, huh? So I get what he's saying, but that's what I'm saying. I think the internet is being misused, I think the internet is like, it reaches so many people, and there's no real fact checking. It's like, it's weird. Like, how many of you, like, you'll see a post about something, even something like interesting as like this Tony situation. Maybe you go to a post about Tony and it's somebody saying something about him like, oh, he's a racist. I find myself going directly to the comments, you go right to the comments and you want to go, oh, here's what people are thinking. Now there's something weird about that. Oh my God. There's something weird about the internet, where you think, oh man, because you saw one little comment, you think, well, that's what everybody thinks, and it's like, that's not the case. The whole world doesn't think like that just because one person, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, my stepfather's here. He's at the front door. So I got to unlock this, it's like happening live, this is like so weird. I gotta tell him. It's like, hey, come inside. So I think that wait, let me tell him. The door's unlocked, man. Come inside. I'm doing my podcast. The door's unlocked, Mike. Come inside. Anyways, so let me come back to this. So anyways, sorry guys. Hey, we're doing it live. This is what happens when you do stuff live. So you're looking in the comments, and then you may think that this one comment represents what? It's kind of like polls, man. The internet is like a big poll, and it only represents one person's thoughts. But when you see one person's thoughts, and then you see it in a group of other thoughts, and maybe it's similar, like-minded, you start to think like, does everybody think like this? And it's like, it's very, I don't know. I think it's not a real depiction of what people are thinking, but we jump to that, you know? Anybody, it's like, because I find it when I look at my comments and then I'll see somebody saying like, somebody will be like, oh man, I like your opinion. You're like, I'm in the middle too. And then I'll see someone else being like, you're a left-wing nutcase. And then you'll see someone else. So you go like, well, which one is it? Right. But what I'm saying is, even as a person receiving comments like that, I can't look at the one negative comment and be like, oh my God, is this real? Because it's just one person's opinion. But because it's presented in the way that it's presented, you know, it has a very powerful effect on the ecosystem, right? So then we're seeing how this is affecting, like, look how it's affecting things, man. You know, like, what if Trump doesn't win? And there's middle of America out there, independents. There's people who are on the like, they're teetering on who they want to vote for. And they saw this, and this is the thing that made them go, oh no, I didn't like that rally, because I saw a couple of clips, and then those clips made them feel like, nah, I'm gonna vote for the other side. Wouldn't that be crazy? That's just how powerful what Mark Maron's speaking on. So then it's like, now do we have a responsibility as comedians, podcasters, public figures to now, as we're doing things like podcasts like this, like, you know, we can't have our, like, am I not supposed to put out my own personal opinions? Am I not supposed to like have a thought on something? Even if I'm discussing it out like this, or, you know, whoever I have on my podcast, if a majority of people don't like this person, I'm not supposed to have them on. And if I do have it on, it means I'm supporting this person, but I'm trying to cultivate a conversation. Like, which one is it? You know, how do you determine what's right or wrong in these situations? Is it which one you feel is like self-serving, or which one do you think? Because a lot of these popular podcasts are already popular. You know, so there's a part that you feel like that too. Hey, Tim Dillon. Hey, Andrew Schultz. Hey, Theo Vaughn. Hey, Joe Rogan, and whoever else Trump's been on. It's like, you don't need that guy to be on for views, because you're rich. You all have tons of money and you're very popular. So are you having him on because you agree with him? You know, then this is your way of saying, yeah, I'm voting for this guy and I agree with him. Or people just, or someone's like, wow, this will be even bigger for my podcast. How great is it that I'm talking to a presidential candidate, and you know, this is, I want to give this person a chance to talk. I want to learn, or whatever your reasons is, whatever your, you know, it's I don't know. And I think we're all learning as we're going right now. I think that the laws aren't moving fast enough to deal with how the internet affects our world, you know? And listen, this is just my stream of consciousness going right now. So sorry if it feels like I'm babbling, but I'm in it right now. So I got to keep going. You know, this is like the Washington Post, for instance. They can't just post whatever they want. Okay. Like, they have to have sources. They have to have whatever the things they have to before they put an article out, because if they don't, they could get sued. And the only reason why that's a thing is because if you're suing a place that makes a lot of money, they actually have the money. So like, you could sue them and be like, well, you owe me $3 million because you said this thing about me. And a judge can be like, well, they have the money, so boom. That's not the case with common people. There's no rules. There's no laws for it. There's no laws. A person can literally say whatever they want on the internet about someone, literally whatever they want. And there's no repercussions at all. You know, now the thing is like, should there be a law for that? Like, I'm really asking you guys, this will be like what we could talk about in the comment sections. You can say, because let's say someone like Selena Gomez, she's got 300 million plus Instagram followers. If she says something disparaging about someone, I mean, that has a larger reach than the Washington Post. You know what I'm saying? Ronaldo or Messi could say something about, like, you know, hey, I don't like, I think that this, what if Messi saw this and was like, Tony Hinchcliffe's a racist, and he wrote that on his Instagram, and his 500 million followers saw that. You know, that's a lot of people that you reach. So, and there's no rules for that. There's no rules for it. You can say whatever you want, you know? So that's where I say that that society, the rule of law hasn't caught up with technology. I've used this example before too. It's like, you know, you put my buddy of mine, his friend, because he has a motorcycle. So he was telling me that his buddy had a motorcycle and it got stolen, but he had an air tag in it. And what the thieves do is they put the bikes now inside their apartments. So the guy he found his air tag. He found the apartment. He called the cops, and the cops said that they can't go in. They're like, well, you know, we don't have a warrant. But it's like, here it is. This is the air tag is saying it's right there. That should be probable cause to go in, right? The laws haven't caught up with technology. So the statute of limitations on crimes, like the P. Diddy beats up his girlfriend. It's on videotape. You could see it. It's him beating her up, clearly kicking her in the hallway. But there's a statute of limitation. But you have the evidence. The video's right there. That's technology. That's the laws not catching up with technology. I think that there should be that you could have a statute of limitation if you have no evidence and it's like, okay, we can't keep going on with this. Let's move on. But if evidence is presented, then it should be like, oh, let's reopen this because now we have the evidence, right? But that's technology. That's the rule of law hasn't caught up with technology. And so here we are here with this kind of stuff too, you know? So you got to think about it, man. Just beware where you get your information from. You know, be leery of, you know, understanding that this is people's thoughts and ideas. I mean, I say this about documentaries all the time, man. Documentaries are just one person's perspective, and they're trying to put a narrative out. That's what all documentaries are. They're not fully the truth. You got to like really parse through things, man. You have to just be like, oh, that was interesting. That's their argument. That's what a documentary is now. It's just their argument for their side, you know? Because I always use the example of Making a Murderer. One of the greatest 10-part documentaries ever. After I saw that documentary, I was furious. I was like, this guy's being railroaded. This guy should be out of jail. All these organizations got involved. You know what? He's still in jail. He's still in jail. You know why? Because he probably did it. And then you Google like evidence that wasn't in the documentary. And then you start to go, oh, he did it. You know what I mean? So, but it was so well done. Anyways. All right, guys, moving on. Now I'm going to talk about something personal that's going on. So as you guys know, I had this really hilarious TurboTax commercial out with Adam Devine, the tax breakup. Okay. The tax breakup. It was an absolutely funny commercial. You know what? I'm so angry about it. I almost want to just go to it and play it right now. If you haven't seen it, you know what? Let's do it. So this is, So this is like, why? I don't understand. I thought I fixed this, man. You know, I don't understand this, dude. Wait, let me fix this real quick. People listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin. Let's see. Wait. Boom. Here we go. Boom. All right, boom. Yeah, so this is the commercial, right? You know,
Sing it, Adam.
A tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is the tax break.
It's time to move.
Okay, so anyways, that's the commercial, man. That is the commercial. So it was really exciting. I'm working with Adam again, and I'm like, all right, here we go. It's playing everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Oh, yeah, baby, it's the tax breakup. Everybody's like, Griff, love the commercial. You back in the game, baby. All right. So then cut to about a few days ago, I'm going, you know what? I'm watching a lot of sports stuff, and I feel like this commercial, I haven't seen it in a while. I said, I haven't seen my commercial in a while. And I'm asking my chat, like, have y'all seen the commercial? Nobody's saying anything. I'm like, actually, I haven't seen it. I think, well, somebody, I saw it on YouTube, whatever, right? Then I Google it, and this comes up, guys. Tax ad fuels tension within accounting culture. What? So apparently, people, one of the most powerful organizations in the game is the AICPA and the NATP. These are some sort of like accountant organizations, man. A commercial encouraging people to break up with their tax preparers drew responses from the AICPA and the AATP as accounting struggle with talent and technology continues. The article goes on to say, into its recent star-studded TurboTax ad, star-studded, I think they talking about me, encouraging consumers to break up with their CPAs and taxpayers in exchange for their company's own preparers and software not only drew backlash from both the National Association of Tax Professionals and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants last week, but also resulted in the company eventually pulling the ad. What? So you're telling me that they made a great ad in a world of competition? That's what this is. You compete. You make an ad so people will use your product. They make a great ad for their great product, and the other people are like, wait a minute, you're saying you're going to break up with us? And these nerds made us stink, and they pulled the ad. What? This would be like if like the iced tea company, Brisk, puts out an ad, break up with soda. Y'all, break up with soda. And it's like, this is the soda break up. And then Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and all these people are like, hey, they made a really good ad. It's making people not drink us. So you need to pull that ad. Are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. How soft are these nerd ass accountants, man? Hey, do better. How about that? How about do better? And you won't get broken up with. Do better. Do better than TurboTax. Okay? Maybe y'all should put all your money together and make a good commercial. Make a good commercial. Make a commercial that's like, hey, don't you want personal attention? Don't you want to know your tax guy? Don't you want to be in the room with him so you can feel like you're getting really taken care of? And then you have freaking like people from the office come out and they do like an office song or you know what I mean? Hey, that's my idea. Hey, accountants, put your money together. Hey, these bullshit nerd accountant organizations, put your fucking money together and make a good ad, bitch. Make a good ad. Make a good ad like TurboTax did. Make a good ad. How about you do that? Huh? How about you make a good ad? Instead of being like, no, their ad is, oh my God, they made an ad and now people aren't going to use accountants? Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. You have a product, you make a commercial for the product so people will use your fucking product. That's how it works. No, but these bitches are like, oh my God, I can't believe this. They made an ad and it's making people not use us. Where? You get your violins out for the freaking accountants, man. Bitches are taking money out of my pocket, man. You're taking money out of my pocket. Unbelievable. Whoo. This is like, so like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. So it's crazy. I mean, that's the world we live in now. Imagine, that's the world we live in now. So now you can't make a good commercial, because if you make a good commercial, your competition can now complain. You make a good commercial, then your competition can be like, hey, that commercial's working and people are using your product and they're not using our product. So you need to pull that commercial. Imagine, like, that's what just happened. That's what just happened. Okay. Unbelievable. Taking money out my pocket, man. The freaking National Association of Tax Professionals. Hey, pull your money. Make a good ad. Do better. That's what you should do. You should be like, okay, TurboTax, good ad. Now let's get, you know what? Let's get our ad out there and let's battle. Then people could be like, because that's how it's supposed to be. You know, are you tired of using apps? Are you tired of talking to your tax professional over a computer screen? You know what? Come into an accountant's office. Remember when milk? Only the older people in here can remember the commercials, drink milk? It wasn't a company. It was just drink milk. It must have been like the farmers and the milk association of milkers, whatever the MIMs, whatever the association for milk is. And they were like, you know what? People aren't drinking enough milk. You know what we should do? Let's make a commercial. And then it was like, drink milk. It was all over the commercials, every sports and everything. Hey, drink milk. That's what you should do, accountants. Use accountants. Make an ad. Okay? How about that? All right? How about make an ad? Nerds. Okay, I'm done. I got that out. Oh. Whew. All right. Anyways. All right, let's get back to it. Got milk. That was the ad. Thank you. All right, last thing is the World Series, man. So I'm not a big baseball fan. I don't know if are you baseball fans? Let me know. Baseball ratings have been terrible for like the last 10 years. They're just like the worst they've ever been. Okay. So cut to this year. I didn't watch one baseball game this year, but I do know who, Aaron Judge is. And I know about the Asian boy. What's his name? Shotani, whatever his name is. Probably the greatest baseball player ever. If he wins this, right? Anyways, I know the Yankees. I know the Dodgers. Okay. They're in the World Series. My mom always used to like check into baseball down the World Series time. It'd be the World Series and she would be like, oh, I want to watch the World Series. Never watched a game all season. So now you got these two juggernaut franchises, legacy franchises, Dodgers, Yankees, and they are in the World Series. What baseball needed was a great World Series because the ratings are sky high. Well, they're not sky high. They're just better than they've been in a long time. Because I was looking on Wikipedia to find out, what are the most viewed World Series. And this is how many people used to watch baseball. In 1978, 44 million people watched Game 6 of the World Series. In 1980, 42 million people watched Game 6 of the World Series. You know what I mean? And then the least viewed, it's all in the 2000s, man. Last year, 2023, Game 5, 9 million people watched. That's it. That seems still like a lot of people, right? But like in terms of like when you think back to the heyday of baseball, it's like, what are we talking about, And then like they didn't even televise some of the playoff games. Then like last year you saw like empty seats in a playoff game. So baseball's struggling in that way, in terms of like staying relevant as like America's pastime, because it's not anymore. NFL is king. Okay, it goes NFL, then it's like baseball, basketball are always fighting, but the basketball stars are just more popular. But anyways, whatever. That's neither here nor there. Okay, I think, and I wanted to talk about this on Monday, Nuance, but I was so busy. But because at the time it was like 2-0. And at the time I was going to say the Yankees got to win Game 3. They have to, because baseball needs this. Baseball needs a long, long series, because then people are going to check in next year. If it's a great series, people are going to be like, wow, baseball is actually fun to watch. Wow, this is really exciting. When homeboy hit that grand slam, Freeman, he hit that grand slam to win the game. That was like, oh, I remembered why people liked baseball. And I was like, oh man, I might check in on this, right? But if the Dodgers, if they would have, thank God they didn't sweep. Thank God they didn't sweep them, because now there's a chance, okay? The Yankees, can they do it? Can they get back in it? Because that would be actually really fantastic if they come back, get it to a game 7. Baseball, in my opinion, needs this. And this is why I always say that if the Yankees come back and win the series, then you can say to me, hey, it's probably fixed. And I'll be like, yeah, because that was great drama. But for the most part, this is not how you fix a sport. You would want it to go long so you get 7 games of revenue. You get people really interested in this sport. Advertisers make a lot of money because the ratings are up and the sport is more popular. And then we go into next year with oh, wow, here we go. This is going to be the thing, man. This is going to be the thing. So, it's, I don't know. I hopefully, cause I think they play again tonight, right? I think they play again. So if I had to pick between the two, I would want the Dodgers to win because I'm an LA guy. I've lived in LA my whole life. But for baseball's sake, I want the Yankees to win tonight. I want the Yankees to win tonight, and I want Aaron Judge to get his shit together. I want him to have a homer tonight, a few RBIs, a stolen base, whatever he's got to do, step it up, be the leader, be the MVP you're supposed to be. And then that would be great for baseball because then people are going to be talking. You're going to be like, oh, it's 3-2. They're going back to LA. Can the Yankees come back? Because somebody has come back 0-3. Remember, the Boston did it to the Yankees. In the sport, it has happened in the sport. It's happened in hockey a few times. It's only happened once in baseball, and it's never happened in basketball. So just knowing that it has happened, and the manager of the Dodgers was on that team that came back 0-3. So, anyways, that's all I really got to say about that. I just want, I just want to see. I want to see baseball be great again. I'm not a huge fan of baseball, but I get it. It's I would like to see it be oh man, where people are oh man, who's your favorite baseball player and all that, and the baseball cards are being traded, and it's just I think it's better for sports, it's better for society. When baseball is good, it's boring. It's boring on TV. They don't appeal to young people. But like I say, something was really attractive about Dodgers, Yankees, people are checking in. The ratings were way up, and then I think that the Yankees ruined it. I think the Yankees are on the verge of ruining what was going to build up to be this great thing. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, I want to thank y'all for watching Riffin with Griffin. We'll be here. Make sure you subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms. Hit me on Twitch because that's what we do, Erik Griffin Gaming. So check that out. And then, hit me on Patreon if you want to support the show. And then, we'll keep things going. But in the meantime, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for being here. Hit those comments so we can have a discussion. I'm all about it. Just try to be respectful. Just make your point. You don't got to attack me. Well, how was attacking me going to get your point across? You know what I mean? It's whatever. So let's see where we go. And the last thing, Dr. Eva said, how was your son? He's great. Wolf is great, guys. And you know what? I'll bring him on next week. I think that's what I'm saying. I think I'll do my podcast outside next week in my yard. My little yard. I'm so proud of it. But anyways, thanks for being here, y'all. Thanks for watching Riffin and Griffin, and I'll